All right, Karen Andrea first in tonight. Cold and rainy Lancaster, New York. Same as here in Pittsburgh. It's on us. Fall is here. We're heading hardcore into winter, but that's good because we're going into the garage. Rob Nussbaum in the house, Sciatica, New Jersey. God, I'm sorry about your back, dude. Jason Ritter in the house. Jesse Bird, Mississippi Coast. Good to see you here. Nancy Weems with us again. Jason Ritter, what's up? Sahid Mohammed. Make sure you put up your hometown name where you guys are watching from. We'll give you a little shout out. I want to thank you for watching tonight. Everyone there in Choppertown Nation, Cycle Source Magazine family all around the country tuning in. Coast to coast, going to be a good show tonight. Just about 8 minutes away from going live, so hurry up and hit the share and like button. Make sure your friends and neighbors know that we're going live with another episode of Coast to Coast. Stick around, 8 minutes. God, what night is this? We'll be right back. Oh man, so many new town names I'm seeing. Salem, Virginia in the house. Swansea, Mass. Germany. If you're up by the little town of Gießen, make sure you say hi to my buddy Oliver Brook, the big German we called him. Missed that cat. Denton, North Carolina. Someone said nice weather in Tennessee. We don't want to hear about that. It's rainy here. Walla Walla, Washington in the house again. Good to see you, Doug. Hey man, gonna be a great show tonight. Cris and Michael have a fantastic guest lined up for you guys. If you haven't seen the promos, I'm not going to spoil it now. We're just 6.5 minutes from going live. But hey, make sure you throw your chats up, your questions, concerns, comments. They'll pass them along. Be part of the show here at Coast to Coast. 6 minutes. I see a little message there from Adam Thompson. Said the Denton swap meet was incredible, and he'd love to post some photos for us. Hey man, if you send that into Cycle Source Magazine, we'll pass those things along. Maybe even put them on Shop Talk this Sunday. Send us out. We want to hear about any good times on motorcycles right now. The whole country needs it, man. Do your part. Be a patriot. Show them good times on motorcycles. Down to the 4-minute mark. We're going 4 minutes. We're live with Coast to Coast. Amy Thompson in the house. Who else is here with us? Jeremy Sather. Snow-filled Minnesota. Ugh, not ready for snow. Australia here with us. Fantastic. Okay, with only about 3 minutes left, I'm going to make my first executive decision of this entire year. And I'm going to call it, since we started a little bit late. Time to pull this one out of the stable and get it up on the trail. Let's get ready to go live with Coast to Coast. Here we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coast to Coast. I'm actually at the coast. I'm on the north coast of California. I'm not in Hawaii. Having a good time up here, enjoying the weather, the cool coastal fog. Going to pull my bike out tomorrow and take a ride. What else is going on in my world? Oh, you got some sound effects there? Some horse going on, Chris? I heard something. Anyway, let's bring in Michael Lichter, my wonderful co-host.
Hey, Chris.
Hi,
Greetings from Boulder, smoky Boulder, Colorado.
So you have fires out in Colorado now, and California's kind of still on fire a little bit.
We're making the national news. We are.
Really?
It's been bad. I know that they lost 26 structures, including a friend of mine that lost their home. He was a retired hamster, believe it or not. He was in the hamsters back in the 90s. But he's lost burnt to the ground. They said it's just ashes, 26 houses, and there were some beautiful houses. And the town is smoky like you can't believe.
So how far are the fires from where you guys are?
Probably 7 miles, so it's pretty far away. But the smoke is just filled up. I mean, we get warnings on the phone all day long. Smoke, from weather alerts, smoke warnings, stay indoors, don't go out, don't drive. I mean, crazy.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
insane.
Everything's nice and not smoky here. It was smoky here a couple weeks ago, but everything's good here. We have such a great show tonight. I'm so super excited that our good friend Karen Davidson agreed to come on with us. And I don't know. How long have you? I think you might have known her longer than I have. I don't know.
No, I'm not sure. I'm sure back in the 90s. I don't know. Sometime in the 90s, maybe at the 90th anniversary in 93, possibly. Because it seems like I have a lot of pictures from the different anniversaries.
Yeah, I might have met her before you.
Well, she didn't start until she started at the factory in 89.
Right.
So, but I'm sure she did family trips, but we'll hear all about that. We should bring her on.
Yeah, let's bring her in. Okay, come on in, Karen Davidson.
Hi.
Hey there. Hey. How you doing?
Hey, Karen.
Hi, Michael. Oh, it's so good to be on with you guys. Hey, Chris, I think we go back farther than Michael.
I know. I was trying to, I'm trying to think. I think I met you right around the time maybe I met Pat.
Yes, absolutely. At one of those famous get-togethers that we always went to, you and I, right?
Sure, right.
Or maybe in Sturgis in 89.
Oh, yeah. So, oh my gosh, what a great history. I cherish your friendship, both of you guys. It's been amazing. Chris, I have to say something, Chris, I don't know if you know this, you were a mentor of mine, like early on, because you were out there and doing a lot more with women in motorcycling than I
don't know, Chris, that's making you sound really old right now.
Oh my gosh.
No, Chris.
I know I'm older than
No.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, I had to get that in.
I mean, we've lived through these amazing decades together, and it's just been, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see you as much as I would like to see you, but when I do see you, it's kind of like we have this kind of a weird bond, like you said. I don't know what it is, but I guess it's a women in motorcycling thing. We always kind of stuck together, and supported each other over the years. And I'm so grateful for all the support that Harley-Davidson has given women riders over the years, I have to say.
Yeah.
I go back as far as 1985 with Harley-Davidson. When I had Harley Women magazine, they were more than gracious enough to support us and have a vision. And I'm so glad that that vision is still, still booming, is still out there. And that I have so many younger women that I'm seeing doing all these things, and amazing women's rides, and the Babes Ride Out, and the Litas, and the Iron Lilies, and all the other clubs too. There's so many new ones. I can't even keep track of them, but I want to thank, your family's been just amazing to women riders. Your parents have been great, your brothers, your whole family. And thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's just, it's always been part of our culture. It's never been an anomaly. There was a time when I would pull into a gas station, I'd hop off my bike, I'd be ready to gas up, and, people would just look at me like waiting for me to get on the back of somebody's bike, and they'd be like, "Oh, you ride your own bike?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah.
But now it's not that way. It's like, it's evolved to so much more like just natural acceptance. But the ride of going, coming through the era and just meeting women that are just super excited to dive into the sport as they do now. You mentioned all those contemporary women's groups and so forth, but it's just evolved, and there's a whole Harley-Davidson legacy of women in riding, and Cris.
Oh yeah, and every age, not just the younger women. I have to give kudos to the younger women, but there's women who are older, who maybe their kids have grown up, maybe they've decided, I want to do this, and it's so empowering. And you've got the rider training courses, you've got the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. There's all these places that women can get support, and from other women, which is really wonderful too. So, hey, Mike, you want to join the conversation?
Yeah,
hey,
sure. Let me in.
Mike,
I'm kind of curious. I don't know if this is PC or not, but is the term tomboy used anymore? Because I'm curious. You started riding at 9 years old, and you had your brothers there, and you say you're one of the crew. You're just treated the same as everybody else. Was there the thought that you were a tomboy at that time? What did your friends think about you going out riding, and how did that all feel?
So, I was a proud tomboy that was enjoying I was having as much fun as the boys were going to have. I wasn't going to let them have more fun than me.
Absolutely.
So, interesting that I ended up in a fashion related career, right? Design, development, engineering of product. But from the moment that it was an option to get on a bike, as young as I was out there. I do like my whole family loves to be outside. So, we would do, it's kind of a get out there and go ride around in the dirt off the road, go, a snowmobile on the streets and do all this stuff. So we were always outside, but I wasn't going to let anybody have more fun on a motorized vehicle than I thought I could have.
It is funny that you went off and studied fashion in college then.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Art, my dad being like a total inspiration for me. Remember that I was not only going to motorcycle events, but we were also looking at a lot of art and architecture, and with his industrial design background, he was a main influence for me. So if you really think about it, it's like, how did I land doing what I did and do? And it's like, wow, it kind of just came together. Okay, you can say right time, right place, but I had a lot of these influences growing up. And thankfully I was able to do some combination that worked out to improve our
meant to be, and it fit. But now, didn't you design leather before you went to the factory?
Yeah, I did on the side.
What was that all about?
I did leather work on the side. When I was in fashion school, I think I broke one of the sewing machines because I insisted on sewing leather, and it wasn't set up for that. So they just kind of looked at me like, keep her away from the machines until we get that walking foot or whatever she needs. Yeah.
Well, I know when you joined forces with Clyde Fessler and with Motor Clothes, and when was that? Like the early 90s?
Early 90s. Clyde gets the credit for the vision. I mean, we had boutiques and stores in Europe asking for our branded apparel. They were as excited to get something with Harley-Davidson on it as they were to carry, the latest trend brand. And it was like, what's going on here? So
yeah, Harley was a fashion statement. It wasn't just about the motorcycle. It was about the brand. And for those of you who don't know, Clyde Fessler was the vice president of marketing of Harley-Davidson in those days. And he actually introduced my husband and I. So I have to shout out for that one.
Was that one of those infamous parties that we talked about?
Yeah, there you go. Jamming in your jammies.
Jamming in your jammies. Okay, we won't go there. But anyway.
Yeah, that's another story.
Hey, Clyde, if you're there.
Yeah.
Out there. Anyway, great memories. And then, Criss, we rolled on through the 90s just in an accelerated force, right? I mean,
the women's market took off. The clothing market took off for Harley-Davidson. I mean, so many cool clothes and shirts and women's stuff. Okay, because most of us were wearing men's boots, men's shirts, men's jackets, gloves, everything, and nothing really fit right,
Right.
And,
that was one of my first challenges is, as I saw more women coming into the sport, I knew that we had to do, there was an opportunity for Harley-Davidson to lead with women's apparel. So with my engineering background, I'm just going to use that term because I really studied apparel engineering quite extensively. I thought I could make improvements and hopefully, it helped. I think it did.
I'd say.
I'm kind of curious. The 90s was certainly explosive as everything was building up to the 100th. I mean, it started, I'm trying to think now, was the 90th? No, there was the 85th.
Right.
It was in 88. So I went to that, rode to that one. Then the 90th, but I'm starting with in 1988 and just before you came on, everything was building to the 100th. And so for years, building. And of course, the whole apparel side of things for you and apparel and accessories. I'm kind of curious, what was it like before you started? What did that look like, that whole side of Harley before you began?
It was part of parts and accessories. So if you think about it, company vehicle first, parts, accessories, and some clothing was kind of the add-on division, if you will. So it wasn't a bona fide division. And under Clyde's vision, we quickly spun off apparel separate from P&A. So, and if you think back to all our catalogs, think back of our archives, what did Harley do? They had saddlebags and they had the Cycle King and the Cycle Queen jacket and they had, the Jodhpur pants and the boots, and it was all in one catalog. It was just always this second, this nice add-on business. We first did an apparel item, and maybe people know this if they read a little bit, in 1912. So Harley's been at this for a long time, but the opportunity to spin it off and make it a solid division was the vision that we wanted to go forward with.
I can remember in the mid 70s, there was you could get one t-shirt with a pan head on it or a knuckle head on it. And that was about it. There was I have my t-shirt somewhere. I should have dug it out for the show, but
Well, it wasn't that long before then that they didn't enforce the trademark, because I remember I did a Christmas catalog for two-wheelers when that was their last one. I think it was in 82 we shot it. And there was still lots of Harley stuff in there that was not licensed. And then, of course, the hammer came down and that all ended very quickly.
Well, there's your old catalogs you're showing.
No, so I like that Jodhpurs. So that's what they were doing before you got there, right, Karen?
No, we made some leather Jodhpurs and showpieces, right?
Well, I'll bet they would do well now if you had them in the museum.
Yeah. Well,
the museum does sell. I don't know. People don't know that the museum does sell a lot of vintage clothing.
Oh,
and they have really cool sweaters and jackets and stuff that you can't get anywhere else, only at the museum. And they have it. I think you could do it online at the shop. It's called the shop at the Harley-Davidson Museum.
Cool stuff. But I do think Jodhpurs would be cool. They go over well with the cannonballs.
Can I tell you? I've ridden them. Karen actually made me a pair in 2010 for the first Cannonball.
Wow.
And they are very comfortable. They're so comfortable to ride in. I just love them.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the blue suede leisure suit that Harley did in the 70s? I'm looking at these great pictures, but there's see all the glue going on. Anyway, I don't think that's a leisure suit, but it's just to die for, with the 70s collar. Oh my gosh. So,
my God.
It's so, oh my gosh. Okay. So
there it is.
When I was a little kid, I had that snowmobile suit. I think my mom still has it in a closet somewhere.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. That was the design on the snowmobile too. That kind of.
So did you model for any of these catalogs when you were a kid?
No, I think I got kind of asked.
You got out of that one. Missed that. But you know what? We should bring. We have a couple of pictures of you. Or, well, actually one, but maybe Criss Collection can bring on. Pictures. Let's bring some photos on. I know there's one of you and Criss. I have to lead it off.
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
That's just that. I love it.
That's not that long ago, but that was from 2009, actually, in Daytona.
Oh,
yeah. But this next picture is killer. I love this next picture.
Oh gosh.
Oh, there you go.
She is.
So
tell us about it.
Okay. So we have these old small bikes, and when we were first learning how to ride, it was like grab one of the small bikes, and then we would tear up around the yard, and just mess around. I would have to kind of fight my brothers for them. So.
I was going to say, did you get along with your brothers? Because I have 5 brothers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, with 2 boys and 1 girl, it was always kind of like my turn. Hey, my turn. Anyway.
And where did you fit in the pecking order?
Oh, I'm the oldest. We're all really close in age, though. My poor mom. When we were we were little.
Irish twins.
Oh. Yeah. But I didn't matter that I was oldest, Michael. They still kind of tried to get the bikes.
Yeah, I was in the middle, so I grew up fighting.
So at least you got to lay the law down, right?
Yeah.
There's another shot of you from the 90s that all I could say is it looks very 90s.
Wait a minute. What did she didn't have the big hair. She didn't have big hair. Carrie never did the big hair thing.
Look at. No, it was just really a big. Okay, so
that's
you guys,
great. I love that.
There's a little bit of shoulder pad action going on there, and I'm finding that I'm digging out some of my old prototypes with a little bit of shoulder pad, and bringing it back again. So
I'll bet it'd come back.
There's Willie and Nancy. Look at them. Oh my gosh, Willie's famous beret. Yeah.
So wonderful. We mentioned the 100th and building up to the 100th. The next series of photos is you going to the 100th. And I know that was a very significant event for you in your life, both because it was an amazing event, but I guess other things happened as well.
Yeah. So I actually, there we go. What a great ride. Okay. So I actually, you wanted me to talk about meeting my husband, right?
Well, you could. The next shot, I believe, is you and him together.
Okay. So we actually met on the 95th. So.
Oh, the 95th. I thought it was the 100th.
Yeah. No, we just met on the 95th. But of course, by then we were together and, cruising on our.
Were you already dating before the 100th then?
We were dating. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
she didn't tell you, Michael. She was keeping it secret.
Well, I knew but Scott did security, right? Didn't Scott do security for Willie?
Scott did security for my dad. Yeah.
It sounds like a movie, doesn't it? Like The Bodyguard or something?
Yeah. That's it.
It sounds like something like a White House kind of one of those docudramas on television, and the president's security guy and the daughter.
No.
Somebody's asking, how many of those early bikes do you guys still have? Do you still have the little bikes?
No, I wish we did actually, Criss, that Armaki, the little bike, that little M50. I wish we still had that. That's kind of a, it would have been fun to have it. We got rid of, So no. And then, before I got my license, I was on I think a 175. Anytime I could get on the road, I think it was illegally riding around. But,
Tell us more about the 100th, because I think you've gone down on the record saying it was your favorite event. Is it still?
Well, the 95th and the 100th. And that was just because we got out to meet so many people, and it was global, and, it was really amazing. And when I reflect on the opportunities I've had to meet so many riders and ride so many roads, I really cherish the memories of the different countries, the different cities, meeting all the different people. And the 100th certainly gave us the opportunity to do that. And we did it across country on the 95th too. So we're real road people. I like spending, if I can spend 2 weeks on the road, I'm super happy. I've said that a number of times. I just love it. Those opportunities are few and far between because of other duties, right? So when we got to do these rides, it just was amazing. You could really enjoy the road. You could just enjoy the people that you're meeting along the way.
Those rides were fun. I remember I did the 85th ride with your parents.
I did not do that one.
We're on the ride from LA. Your dad, people would go from different cities. I think Clyde or somebody went from Seattle. Your dad came out of LA on the 85th, and we rode along with them.
Came through Denver, right?
Yeah, but we actually, they only did a couple 100 miles a day. And my partner, Joe Giovanoni, and I, we would just go off and do side trips every day. So we'd get in the hotel before dark, and everybody already be there. And they'd say, "What did you girls do today?" And we'd tell them all the little adventures and side trips that we did. But that was such a fun. And coming into Milwaukee, I have to say, it wasn't the 100th or the 95th, but the 85th even was. I've never seen that many bikes coming in, and all the people in the overpasses and the signs, and it's just something I will never forget.
Yeah,
but
it's something that you don't forget, and it's just. And it really strikes you. I mean, after coming miles across the country, just reflecting on how great the ride was, how great it was to come across country, and then have the welcome spirit of just the people that are total enthusiasts. They may not ride, they're out there flag waving, and it's
everybody comes. Even now, the parade. Like I did the parade last year. I rode in the parade twice now. I think the 110th. I don't know which ones they were, but. The parade is amazing, and I rode my 1915 in the parade, and the parade is
that's right. I remember
unbelievable.
You in there.
People, I mean, it was kind of a crazy ride.
Yeah,
so I've actually done all of them.
It was so hot at the end, and we were in this traffic, and we did it. We were with Bill Denzel, and we did a Yui in front of a cop, and he was yelling at us to stop, and we're like, we can't stop. We're on really old motorcycles. We just kept going through traffic.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing? There've been 7 anniversaries already. Right?
I can't believe it.
So, Karen, when you think back on these things, and especially let's say the 100th, that was real meaningful, how much of that is your tie to the brand? And our good friend Ray Dre, he's got a tie to the brand. He's retired now, but he still so fondly writes about it on his Instagram or whatever, about the bikes and things that from his past 30 years. So how much of it is the brand, and how much of it is your family? And just knowing that you are part of the Davidson clan, and your history is when they say 100th anniversary, that's 100 years of the Davidson family history. Yeah. So how intertwined is it? Can you separate it, or is it just all one?
No, it's just all one, but you have to know that from my parents have been on the road literally, and at the buyback of the company, and when the company almost went under, I mean, they went out there and they spent weekends, months, whatever they had to do to go to dealerships, to meet people, to go out and just enthusiastically share the riding with our customers. And I grew up with that, and it's just ingrained in our core. Like, I don't have this outside perspective of I'm a Davidson and isn't this special? This is just what we do, and I've never been able to describe it really well, I don't think, because it comes from deep inside. It's what we've always done. So, I have to say, it's family / customers. Customers make the brand, right? And
your family being so far out there, like your parents were so accessible to people, and they were just so sweet and kind and had time for everyone. I can't even imagine.
Well, it's all you ever knew, too. Let's bring on some more photos. I know we get into some travels as well. And also we're talking about family, and this is about family here.
Yeah. There's Scotty. Yeah.
That's Born Free. That's recent, though. That's in 2015. Yeah. And then, of course, in the next one is Harley Way. That's the opening ceremony for Harley Way. I believe that's the mayor on the left.
Yeah. So that was in Sturgis. Yeah.
That's right after they cut the chain that was made by the wonderful. What's the name of the welder in Milwaukee that doesn't?
Kendall.
It begins with a K. Keldon.
Yeah.
Kendall. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful welder. He did that chain. And you cut it, and these are taken right after that. And then we have some photos of you and Bill and his family at Born Free coming up. I mean, obviously you're really close. You seem very close with your niece. Is that through horseback riding as well?
Oh, yeah. Oh, terrific. Yeah. And
nice shot of the two of you.
Yeah. There's a niece and Angie and Gage. Yeah. It's just, we do have a good time together, and it's great. So the niece now going into fashion merchandising. So
she is. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So hopefully, a bit of an influence there. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Maybe bring her into the fold.
Yeah. So
So you see your family. Obviously, you're in Milwaukee quite a bit because you go back on a regular basis. You're in Juneau right now, and you see your folks. The next shot we have is on stage at the 105th in 2008. So,
Wow.
I mean, there you are, so publicly as a family. I mean, even with the new generation there, that's quite a spread of years. And of course, your dad is so comfortable with the crowd and on the microphone, and you're all the background support. But you are really coming out these last few years. I mean, you've been out there a lot as a brand ambassador. I know it wasn't your title, but it seems like you've done that for years, seeing you at events.
I think it comes with the name, right?
Well, I mean, how much of that do you get from? How much of that do you get from your dad? You're so. I think you're more comfortable than Bill with the crowds. I mean, Bill's good. He's good on stage and all, but you get out there and I don't know. You have this smile that doesn't quit, and and you engage people in such a way that's amazing.
I really truly love meeting people, and I really love listening to people. And the most important thing for me is if somebody can share a story with me, and especially the new women riders, if they, have something to share or they have a question, I'm all about listening because, we've lived it, we've grown up with it. It's about a shared experience with many riders. Weird year this year. As you mentioned, brand ambassador, I really look forward to getting out there, missing a couple really good things this year, and we'll get back out there hopefully next year. So
somebody wrote in wanting to know, what is your most memorable family memory?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so
question.
Okay. You know what? I have to say it between the, it's the 95th or the 100th anniversary because, and I want to say that the 95th, maybe a little bit more. Okay. So there wasn't a heightened schedule of PR, but it was really a tight, like all our family and friends, we rode Milwaukee to LA and then LA back. Okay. And that being on the road every day with your family and friends and doing your stopping at dealers, we've ridden our whole lives together, but to celebrate the company and the celebration of the legacy, that was really special. That was really, really special. Now I'm not going to give you the personal stories of family, maybe a big family event. I'll go way off into the weeds and get in trouble for that. But anyway.
Yeah, you can blame your brother. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chris brought up a question. We do have some others. Like now, this is more of a question for your dad. Somebody asked what year they started to use the number one. I believe that was your dad's doing, wasn't it?
It was, and I'm going to be off on the exact year because I know he originally did a number one for the racing team with Mert Lawwell picture in the top of the one. And then, that was right. Was it 76? I'm going to be off in the year and be wrong when he did Stars and Stripes. But I mean, that thing emerged and it's so iconic right now. It's just amazing. Still one of our best-selling logos. And, he was brilliant at masterminding the simplicity of those logos. If you think about the Fat Boy logo, the number one, the double triangle logo that was evident in the 60s that it is now so popular.
And how they've all come back.
He does. I learned about line and simplicity and what really makes good design from him, from logos to shape and form. I mean, he regards the Harley-Davidson motorcycle as a rolling piece of sculpture with the right balance and, no doubt.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
You can see that in some of his line drawings when he does pen and ink, which is really cool. But, Heather asked how many bikes you still have. Now, I know you said you don't have that first one. Have you kept any? I don't see you as a big collector like your dad, but are you?
Not a huge collector. I do have a 77 XLCR that is, I do like shovel heads a lot. And I've got, believe it or not, a V-Rod.
Yay!
The horses in the barn agree.
We got sound effects, okay?
So I've got to think about my next one, really. I do have an old Springer. I have a 97 Springer, and I tell you, if that has to go to the shop or something, people look at it and think, oh, that's a cool custom bike. No, that was off the line. We ran it for 3 years, and it was one of the premier, I think, factory custom bikes that Harley-Davidson is known for as our legacy or our heritage. So, you know, I have my 100th. So I have kept bikes that are
pretty modern then.
Yeah.
No JDs, no Knuckles, no midget racers.
No, my brother does. And someday, maybe my oldest one is a 77. So
yeah, she's gonna ride a hand shifter. We're gonna get her on a hand shifter.
Oh, Criss, we have to.
No, we've been talking about it for a long time. We're gonna do it one of these days.
And to know that your words have impact, you turned Criss and Heather were riding the ticket at some event years ago, Hogs Women Riding, and you turned to Criss and said that his bike, which was his 49 Panhead, was sexy. So you see, your words have clout. Even years later, people say, I remember when Karen Davidson said that to me.
That's
well,
awesome.
She's right. That's a damn nice bike.
So
yeah.
cool.
Well, you know, my dad is amazing at remembering riders. He gives people nicknames and he remembers riders. He remembers their bikes, event after event after event. He may
Your dad is
recognize
amazing.
somebody. He'll remember their bike. He amazes me. And it's crazy. What is that?
There's
I
the
remember your
ticket.
dad I remember in Daytona running into your dad at the Limpnicky lot. And you're looking at all the cool stuff, you know.
Yeah. You know, let's bring on some more photos because we have a bunch to go through. We could actually roll through a number of photos now because this is sort of you out there signing autographs and with kids at the MDA runs. And it just shows how gracious and I don't know, help me here, Criss, with some of the words because you're so warm and welcoming to people. And look at this picture with the young girl at the MDA run. And you seem to mess around and have fun with them and play with them and as well, not only the kids, but then there's the industry. You're up on stage. You seem to be very comfortable.
You remind me of your
like
dad
this.
so much. You're always smiling. You know, you got your dad's smile too. I have
and so comfortable in front of crowds. Like here you are, you know, talking to a group of women at one of the rides.
Yeah. What you guys have to know is I get as much from the audience and the people as I hope they get from me. I'm, you know, might not be always on point or whatever, but I'm relaxed. And I think we're all, you know, together and we relate. We have a common bond of the love of the bike. And that's just ingrained in me. So when I love connecting, right? And so
that's dark.
Wow. Yeah, you just when you're out in public, as Criss said, you remind me of your dad also, and your mom.
And your mom
is super gracious. She's kind of stays in the background a bit, but she's so gracious and wonderful always. But
she's awesome.
Your dad being the face, you know, he's got the face, and you seem to have that now. You do. You're out there.
I have to. Yeah, my mom loves to talk to riders too. So again, that personal connection. It's no show. It's very, very real from our hearts and who we have been our entire lives. We've been part of this brand. I've been on a bike, or if I couldn't, as little as I was, I've been around bikes and probably in the sidecar behind the bikes. Michael, you got a lot of pictures.
Karen, if you search your name on my site, you'll see hundreds probably. And actually, I only go back 5 years. So I actually went into my archive and pulled a lot of these. This one here, that one with the police, that was another run in Daytona. And everybody wants to pose with you. It's like, come, Karen, can we get a picture with you? Whether it's the police or the riders, the women, the young kids. That happened to be from 2015. And then, and you put enough miles. It's amazing. Like with this next picture, I just think you go to these events and you're just always jumping on a different bike. Just here's your bike, Karen, and jump on and you're off.
Yeah.
And didn't you guys go to Italy? Didn't you do some riding in Europe? You guys went over there a couple
I've done riding in Europe. I want to recap one ride for you guys where I rode up to Mount Fuji. And, you know, sometimes I go to these events and it's just these wonderful, unexpected experiences. I may not have a tight agenda or timeline, but the next thing you know, where I want to say hi to everybody in the offices over there, but then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we got bikes, you know, we're going to take this ride up to Mount Fuji. And that was a blue sky rally. And things like that maybe I didn't have time to really think about. And then I'm finding myself in the middle of this amazing ride with great, you know, either employees and riders, hog members, whatever. It's just, it's really delightful. It's really delightful. And awesome. I cherish and I honor all the times, the pockets of time that I've had to do that. And with my industry, when I say that, tight deadlines, right? So it's not like I have all this luxury time to just, ride a lot of long distances. And I think that's why I cherish the opportunities.
Here you are that's with Shelley Rossmeyer.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I love her.
Alongside with Shelley. Speaking of which, I understand you're a skier also. Where do you go skiing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll go out west. I mean, I grew up learning how to ski and slip and slide on the ice out here in the Midwest. But, we like to go out west and find the good powder. And I think my brothers and I were a little bit competitive. Like, there ought to be some competition going on.
What are your favorite areas out of curiosity?
Yeah.
What are your favorite areas to ski at?
Whistler is amazing. Have skied Whistler. We've been to Big Sky a couple times, and that's been really enjoyable. And then we've, in your neck of the woods, we've done the Rockies. But I don't know if I have a favorite. I haven't skied in Europe, so can't say.
Oh, you got to tie it in now. That's one thing I did do last trip when I was in Switzerland. I had an exhibition over there and we went skiing in Austria. It's fantastic. So I've been determined, because I've run into you in Italy several times now. And my next trip to Italy, I'm definitely going up to the Dolomites. That's without a doubt.
Nice.
Yep. I'm adding a few days on and that's going to happen.
If we're there
so
together,
maybe you'll join us.
I will join you. If we're there together, I would love it. So
there you go. And speaking of Italy, I'm kind of curious. You mentioned Japan. You go all over the world. I know Indonesia, the Southeast Asia, and India. You've been a number of times, but and you get inspiration. I know from all sorts of places. You go to events, especially some of these young new events, and see what people are doing and wearing and interested in. How about at these foreign events? What kind of things do you see, and what kind of inspiration do you get there?
I think it's a color inspiration. I'm always surprised at how eclectic, especially when I go to East Asia and travel over there. I see they really push things in a more surprising way than you would think. And when I went to India, again, very eclectic. I think, the expressive nature, and I fortunately, I spoke to some of the young riders, the Asian riders, Asian girl groups and girls that are just getting into the sport. They are so empowered and so thrilled to be riding a Harley, whatever bike, whatever Harley they have, and to be part of, maybe the women's part of the Hog group or whatever. Right. They are it's such a joy, because for some reason that part of the world, those girls feel, and Criss, maybe you can speak to this.
No, I definitely know what you're talking about. I did a trip to Japan a few years back, and I did a ride up in the mountains, and there were maybe one or two women riders in this whole big group, and they were, like you said, they're so appreciative, and they're a little bit, maybe were behind us at that point. This was, I think, in the 90s when I went over. I can't remember when. It was the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was just amazing to me to see the enthusiasm that they had, because they hadn't really been exposed to the women riders as much as like we have been in our country, with the motor maids, with the women in the wind. We've always kind of been riding in our country, I believe. But other countries, not so much.
Well, it's even more than that. We had Janna. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, from Thailand.
Yeah.
Do you know who she is, Karen?
Janna from Thailand.
Janna, yeah. She's actually affiliated with Indian, but I think she'd ride anything. And she's going to be on the next Cannonball. But I think she's on the Cannonball Chronicles last week as a guest. And hearing her story, but in that part of the world, it's just, they're some years behind us where women are in terms of the freedoms that they have, let's say. I mean, certain countries, they can't vote, they can't drive, they can't do lots of things.
They ride scooters. A lot of people, it's not the same as riding a big Harley, in a country. Right. They ride scooters. You see whole families in Indonesia. I've been to Bali, and five people on a scooter going to work, lady, kid in the basket, and so it's a different kind of lifestyle. I think that's how she started riding. Then she really got the bug to ride American motorcycles, and she came to the United States, and again, so enthusiastic.
The enthusiasm and energy is incredible. So I share that. I see that. And it's interesting you point out the color combinations, because a lot of things wouldn't fit. Taking certain things from Southeast Asia, style-wise may not fit, but you can certainly be inspired by color and maybe materials also, and the use of materials and emblems, the way they use design. So that's really interesting. Yeah, now, I know you've had ties to Italy also through design, right?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in Italy, and that goes way back. There's some amazing factories, of course. I love also performance product, and I've been, it's been just terrific for me to work with some of the high tech companies over in Italy. I appreciate the craft. I've worked with designers from Italy, and so I've been real privileged to work, in that area of the world on some design projects and some highly technical engineered products. FXRG with some of the base layers and some of the structure and things that we put together with the type of engineering and machines that they have and the capabilities that they have over there. It's been so inspirational. And me being part engineer, I just love working with high tech and doing what I can. And the goal is to improve the product, make better product. Let Harley be the lead on doing technical and advanced product for rider comfort. That's what it's all about.
So it makes sense though in Italy, where motorcycling is it's not just part of the culture, it's part of life. Like Chris would use it to get to work in Italy. Now, of course, things are changing, but it's so much a part of life where everybody learned to ride as a kid, and it's part of life. And certainly the way they are about MotoGP and racing, how excited they get. And you can understand why they would have such technical motorcycle products there and why they develop it. Right. Although there is an interesting tie, because I remember introducing you to my assistant from Bergamo, who told you about her brother, who was a designer, and he later became a designer with you, I guess, from Bergamo. Absolutely. Federica Carraro was my assistant back in 2003.
And that was a amazing relationship. And again, I cherish the design innovation from the Italian point of view. They are truly passionate, not only about high quality product, but about the brand. So it's a wonderful combination when you have somebody that's so enthusiastic about doing the honor to the brand by offering up, new suggestions and opening up some new factories that we can only build better products from. So
Dawn Schmidt's on right now, and she says Harley-Davidson clone from Italy. That was fun. Remember Dawn?
Hi, Dawn. Oh my gosh. Yes, that was one of the things we did. Don't ask about how we picked the smell, because I don't really remember. I mean, there's lots of jokes about that. Is it exhaust? Is it oil, gas, whatever?
Oil. I love it. Yeah, that's like me. A little perfume, a little oil behind my ears.
Chris, I'm just wondering, a little behind schedule. Do we need to take a little break and then come back with Karen?
Let's take
Karen, if you don't mind, can we regroup in a couple minutes?
You guys are running the show. Whatever
we forgot. We have to take a commercial break.
I know, we got carried away.
We'll
All right,
back,
we'll see you on the other side.
All right.
Hey, this is Chris from Cycle Source Magazine, and I want to thank you for watching the flagship show of the Source Media Group, Shop Talk. We go live with Shop Talk every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's only one of the many programs we offer from Source Media. In addition to that, Wednesday nights we have Cannonball Chronicles that looks into the life and times of Cannonball racers as they prepare for this year's Motorcycle Cannonball. Thursday night we have Bike Night Live that dives into the culture of bike night, the food, the bikes, and the fun of hanging out with friends, and we even have some live entertainment. Sunday morning, Cyber Swap kicks off, where we have a sort of home shopping network approach to motorcycle swap meets, and we bring guys on that have parts to sell live right there. All of this in addition to our staple programs, which are Grease and Gears TV, live on the street from the events and rallies, Grease and Gears Garage, and Grease and Gears Garage Roadshow. We look forward to bringing more of this type of programming to you from the home of Two Wheel Entertainment, the Source Media Group.
And we're back.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Let's bring Karen right in then.
All right.
Hi, guys.
I'm kind of curious, just to bring things up to date. Can you hear us, Karen?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Welcome back. So I'm kind of curious. It seems like going gangbusters with all the apparel, but now it's a new world out there with COVID. And I'm wondering, how is that going to affect things? Is that going to be like for some people, they're looking at this as a reset, or are you using this opportunity in any way to make changes, or do you just going to keep going?
Sure.
And
I'm here at Juneau Avenue, and we've got the best group I think that we've ever had that have got their hands on GM, and they're assessing things. I think our .com is going to be stronger than ever. We've got so much demand for the brand, and we've got so much enthusiasm from people that are discovering the brand and want good product that I'm super optimistic. Yeah, it's a setback. If you don't have the retail flow, that's fine, but yet we feel that the demand is still there, and we've just got this solid, inspired group and some new ideas. And I can't talk about new ideas. I'm so optimistic for 21. We all have to be, right? So.
It seems like the bikes are selling like hotcakes. I talk to dealers and the bikes are moving. I don't know about apparel, but people do want to get out and ride because it's an escape from being closed in, I guess.
Exactly. And with that comes with, applying some of the technologies for some of the functional gear we'll be introducing at the start of 21, which I'm really excited about. We've got our adventure touring bike coming out, and I'm going to be out there with that.
So it's a whole new avenue for you.
New experience. So I'm really looking forward to that. So there's just so much going on. There's so much opportunity. And I always feel like there's opportunity, right?
You talk about this group. I know that you do a lot of planning and you work hard on sensing what's out there and direction for product and direction for apparel. But you talk about your group back there. I'm curious, how big of a group is apparel? What does it consist of? Are there several designers, or is it people? I have no idea what it looks like.
Okay, so here at Juneau Avenue, we've got this amazing apparel division. We've got merchandisers, right, who plan the assortment, do the financials. And then we've got the design people. We've got the technical design people, everybody working in sync to flow the concept product to factories to, get it back, inspect, this whole, logistical, synergistic coming together of different groups. Is that what you're asking? So there's
is it a team? I understand there's probably different groups focused on different aspects of getting the apparel to market and product to market. Yeah. But are you talking about 30 people, 40, 50, 20? I have no idea, the numbers of people that go into this.
Yeah, and I may not have a good number because we've made some changes, and I think I can't even quote the right number probably. Because I haven't gotten a count.
It sounds like a great team. It sounds like you have a lot of good things you're working on. I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, for sure.
Something else I'm really curious about is, you're so connected with women in riding. You're this inspiration for so many, particularly women riders. But do you design equally for men and women, or is there somebody else that handles more men's stuff and you handle more women's stuff? How does that work out?
Gee, Mike.
Oh.
Okay. So we're going to speak a little bit historically, but I did both. I gave the inspiration. Again, it's synergistic. It's when I was doing the creative design, you got to work as a team. So you have your design, and I was doing both. I like doing both. But remember, it's from the inspiration and maybe some technical, maybe some ideas that are filtering down. Then you have dedicated women's designers, men's designers that are going to take those, focus in on the right tech, focus in on the right color palette, and the so on and so forth that goes into the specific gender merchandise. So,
wow, how exciting!
Yeah, I worked across. Yeah,
it's so fun.
Both sides of the aisle.
Both sides of the aisle. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And now do you have some new things you're going to be working on?
Well, you can't
can't tell us about that.
Never mind. That's not what I meant.
That's top secret.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Well, I know you always have something going on. So, I mean, just stay tuned, right? It's not like...
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Tell me this. Other than between Milwaukee and Burbank or wherever you fly into, do you have any plane tickets on the horizon for anywhere, or is it just Milwaukee and California?
Okay, so we're grounded right now, but I think all of us are looking forward to 21, right? So no plane tickets right now. We're just kind of staying close to home like everybody, but really looking forward to, getting back out there. I think this is hard for all of us, right? So Cris, Michael, we
yeah, I know.
Hey, I'm a photographer. I can't do it unless I'm out there, right?
Right?
Yeah, but you had shoulder surgery. You can't even pick up your camera yet, right?
I could pick up my hand. Look.
Yeah, but your hand is
up.
But your camera weighs what? 10 pounds? How much does your camera weigh? You can't.
I'm getting there. I had my therapy. Oh, look at that, Patrina, and we got Shelly, of course, and Vicky Sanfilippo, our nurse.
I love
it. Right. So this really shows you're out there with the industry. I mean, it's women in this case, but you're out there with the industry, and everybody knows you.
She's one of the girls, okay?
Oh, and they're with Bill Redenzel on your home team.
That was Cannonball. That's great.
2010.
Cannonball 2010 over at Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, that was a great day.
That was a great day. And here you are riding in 2015. It was that was an MDA ride, I believe. I think it was a women's ride to benefit MDA.
Oh yeah.
And then we have one here with all the Iron Lilies, including Letitia Klein, who was a guest of ours a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, look at that group.
Nice shot. And one of the MDA brand ambassadors, or MDA ambassadors, I guess they call them. I love this shot. I don't know what it's all about, but everybody looks like they're having fun.
Yeah.
And this next one here is with our mutual friend, Ray Dre. And you had just given, I guess you and Ray agreed on giving this bike the Willie G Award, which I know has been given. I've been with Ray, I've gone to Moon Eyes and been to Verona several times. And he loves giving out the Willie G Award on behalf of your dad. And this year you were doing it with him.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Verona's quite inspirational, and you see metal and fabrication there that is unlike, I think, Michael, because you've been there and you've hosted the awards and you've done so much with that show. That's a quite amazing show. It's
nice. A great show. It really is.
It's a great show. Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
Chris Callan says he loves Ray's art.
Look who's here. Brian Klock. You're chatting with Brian Klock, and we got Satya Kraus talking with your brother and your niece in the picture at Born Free. I mean, you're only there for a few hours because, I mean, it's hit and run on this event, but everybody wants a piece of your ear there to talk to you, right?
Yeah, that's fun. That's an amazing get together, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful
I can't wait I'm missing all these, we're missing all these events. It's been such a weird year, like the Mama Tried and so many things I wanted to do this year.
You went Babes Right Out, Chris. I was looking so forward to going to Babes Right Out. I went to my first one last year, and I have to say it was super inspirational. I was looking forward to doing it again this year. But what an inspiring group, and talk about great shared stories and experiences.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to do that one. That was on my list for this year. And we actually want to get those girls on our show too, so we can talk more about that.
Hey, can I go with you ladies next time?
Well, I don't know, Mike.
I know. Come on, I want to take pictures.
Of course. I don't know. I don't run the show, but you pretty much can go anywhere you want. I would think.
I'm grandfathered in, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, you're not even a grandpa yet. What do you mean?
I know. And not even on the horizon line.
Yeah. Well, it happens fast. Let me tell you. I have 3 grandsons. I can't believe it. But
not in my family. My kids aren't rushing in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so anything else? If you picked 3 events that you really, I love this. This is Sharon Davidson in action. Just out there.
Yep.
Laughing and smiling.
Having fun.
Yep. So if there were 3 events that you'd like to go to next year, whether they be on this continent or any continent, what would they be? 3 or even 4 events?
Well, I'll take like the annual European event. I love European Bike Week. I get to talk and get out there with a great amount of people. Michael, you've been to that one, right?
You know, it conflicts with Cannonball.
That's Fokker say.
So, and I was invited. It was a shame because I was invited. But yeah, I had a place to stay and everything last year, but it wasn't meant to be. It was canceled again, of course, in September.
Yeah, and the annual European Hog Rally again is great. You know, I like the big ones, and I like being able to get across the borders because I think it's more rare that maybe a family member can go and enjoy the camaraderie and share the experience, and I appreciate that. It's not, you know, I think it's amazing, and I'm willing to, you know, enjoy those events with our the people internationally. So.
Yeah, I'll bet. How about have you been to Moon Eyes?
No.
Oh, I want to go to that
one. One you got to go.
I would love to do that one for sure.
I'll go with you. I've gone.
Okay, I'm going
8
to.
years.
You guys are going.
Let's go.
Actually, I do a fun thing at Moon Eyes. I have somebody that helps me, an assistant. I stay an extra 8 days, and I visit 2 to 3 bike shops a day all around the country. I go to Kyoto and Osaka and all over, just visiting bike shops. To me, that's so great to see the show and get all that, but then to stay and really get in the culture. But you would love it. I think, well, I know you've talked about Japan before, and there's so much, and they're brand conscious and fashion conscious. I think they have a great sense of design. So I think you'd love that for sure.
The Japanese people are so nice. They're just the most gracious people. I've been over there many times with my husband and did some riding over there a couple of times, and I want to go back. Definitely.
What about India? I've been to India, but I've never ridden a motorcycle in India, and I'd love to. I absolutely would. But you've been there more than once, haven't you?
Yes, I've been there twice, and I was the first Davidson to come over to visit India. India is an amazing country. The riding is so. Listen, I think that is a 2-wheel culture. And I am just in awe of how they ride. Okay, so they ride kind of almost like in a collision course, and they just kind of crisscross, and it's so natural. So you have the little tick. What do they call them?
I know the 3-wheelers you're talking about.
The little 3-wheeler taxis, and then they got 2-wheel people, and it's just like boom, 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 you know, all over. And it's
sounds
like
fun.
And it's horns and it's craziness.
You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen these animations that are kind of design animations of what it would look like if everybody was in an electric vehicle? Because everything is perfect and on ramps and off ramps and everything seems to somehow, it's like, how do they not collide? But it's like that on super fast speed, isn't it?
Yes, totally.
And that's from riding in Nepal, at least. I got that.
You got it. Yeah.
And of course, in Nepal, we put on like 1,000 miles. And I remember we left the hotel and there was a traffic light a few blocks away. It was the only traffic light I saw in the country. So, and that's going through a city of 1 million people and another city with 500,000 people. We saw one traffic light.
Hey, I rode through Japan. I didn't even know what a light looked like. I hooked up with the one guy who spoke a little bit of English, and I said, "Stay with me. I don't even know what the stop sign looks like." That was a crazy trip.
Do you think India will be back on the horizon? I know the factory, the factory is being closed down, but you still must have shops. And
yeah, I don't know yet on what, you know, might be on the horizon for next year. But I was at the first annual Hog Rally, which was in Goa. And I have to tell you guys a quick story. I was on, you know, it's left side riding. And so I was, you know, I think I was on a Fat Boy. And I took a turn. And of course, I'm watching out for all the traffic and everything. And there was a cow, one of those longhorn cows, right as I blind turned to the left. and I had to do a swerve maneuver, and the headlights flashed across and said, "First Davidson in India hits holy cow."
No, the headline's going to read, "Holy cow."
Holy cow.
That
sounds like a good time. I don't know. That's where those memories come from.
The beauty of all these adventures we have, right?
Yeah.
We're getting close here, but I do have another question that it's sort of about you and women riding and whatnot. And I'm wondering, for years they've been saying women is the the fastest growing segment of motorcycling. Are we getting near a point where it won't be so unusual, where it's just, we'll be sex blind, it won't make it gender blind, that it's just a rider. And it's not that it's a woman rider. Of course, think of the days when Gloria rode by herself down to Daytona from New Jersey, right? In the 40s and 50s, and how that must have stood out. But are we going to get to a point where it just won't even be that noticed?
Well,
where is it now in that continuum?
So, I think from the younger generation that I've met, they want to just dive right in. There's no, the barrier's broken down. They're not apprehensive. They want to take the course, get in, and there's more of them doing it. So yes, I think it's heading that way. But Criss, what do you think about that? I do. There's just
it's so much. There were so many more women riding now. Like when you go to Sturgis, I remember when I first went in 1979, I saw one other woman riding a motorcycle, Harley. And,
is that your first year?
I think so. 79.
My first year too.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see you. City Park. We were only there for a day.
I look back through my pictures though.
There were so many people, we couldn't get gas or food, so we just left.
Yeah.
But now, like you say, every group, every pack of bikes, there are women. So I like to think that it's getting so much better that someday you won't be a woman rider. You'll just be a rider. I like to just be considered a rider. I've always thought being a woman rider, it's great. I love inspiring other women. That's kind of been my life's goal. But I really think we're all just riders in the end, really.
I agree with you.
And it's the one sport, well, there are a few other sports we can do as well or better than men. But you know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot of muscle to ride them. It really doesn't. You can be small, you can be any size and learn it's technique and training.
I mentioned it on the Cannonball. I'd love to see more women riders. We'd love to see Karen Davidson on the Cannonball, right, Criss? Maybe take one of her dad's bikes.
We'll just do a little ride. There's no pressure.
You said you like going for a 2-week ride, right?
I do. So let's hope for a good 21.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something sometime, Karen. Definitely. It's on my list to do some riding with you someday. It's something we need to do.
And one thing we also have to do all year is a shout out to your parents, because I know both Criss and I miss them so much that we saw them last summer in Sturgis the last time. Oh my goodness, that's over a year ago.
Some of my favorite people.
Since I saw them, I haven't seen them in a year. So usually I see them much more than that. And they're such wonderful people. So please, hugs to them when you see them next.
Yes, thank you. Definitely. Thank you very much.
And say hi to
two
Scott.
Very special people. They're your parents, but we all love them.
Yeah.
Thank you. You got to share Nanny a little bit with me.
I know.
You know how I feel about her.
And Willie is painting up a storm. He's just such an avid watercolor artist. Michael.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
He is such a good artist, and it's so fun that he has that time. He's retired now, so he can just paint.
Yeah.
And one more thing that we need to say is a shout out from a guy named Patrick Simmons.
He's watching the show tonight.
Congratulations, Karen, on all your accomplishments. And I know you guys are good friends too, but he gave a nice shout out there.
Oh, that's nice. He likes you guys. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
awesome.
On that note, we should probably wrap it up and let Karen. It's later. They're up. There they are, racing back to the stables. Karen, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. I miss you, and it's good to be with you for the short time. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So
you were on my list
when we could all be together again.
Yes,
your name was on the top of my list when I was asked to do this show, and I thought, who do I really want on? And you were one of the people. And thank you, Mike, for getting hold of Karen. But definitely, thank you, Karen, so much. And like I said, I hope we can do some more things together. I look forward to it. And let's get through this year. And
Love you guys a lot, and thank you. And it was great. So,
all right.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Chris.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to Rob.
Rob Nussbaum. Oh my goodness, with his back. And he's on the show. He's following, and he's commented a few times, but he hasn't said his plans. I don't know. You said that he's not feeling too good, but I haven't gotten that call yet. If he wants me to fill in for him, or perhaps he's found somebody else, or maybe he's doing it himself. So Rob Nussbaum, we do hope you're feeling better and
Michael,
better enough to do your show.
I got a message off air here that if one of the two of you could be on standby, he's not sure. He said if he feels the way he does tonight, he doubts he's going to be able to do it. All
right. Well, I'll be on standby, no problem. And if it is, I think Oliver Peck's going to be on. And if that's true, I was the one that asked Oliver Peck to join the Cannonball. I twisted his arm and said he had to do the show. He was planning on doing it. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow night or not. That would be fun if he was. Oh, okay. But we do have some people that, there's some people that kind of commented from all over. I know that we've had people from Washington, Florida, Massachusetts, Virginia, New Jersey, and Zoe Wynn Nelson, who I don't know, from Denver, Colorado. So whoever Zoe Wynn Nelson is, I hope she says hello to me next time we're out at an event around Colorado.
Hey, I didn't manage to get this pulled up fast enough, but this is in relation to you talking about riding in that traffic. This was just a picture that I found, man, because like I've seen the videos and pictures and everything.
Oh my God.
That's it.
It's insane.
I've been there. I've been in that traffic.
It's just intersections with their total insanity. Like there's nothing directing traffic, man.
Yeah. And that's where you're on a bike.
Yep. And it's like white lining in Tokyo, downtown Tokyo. It's like, well, everybody's splitting lanes. It's not like LA where we'll just split the fast lane. Everybody's going every other lane too. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Anyway, so thanks to all our viewers. Flybroad from Cody, Wyoming, and
that's my buddy Fly. Known him since
Tennessee. Nancy Weems from Tennessee. They're really coming in from all over. And Lori Struck De Silva. And I think she needs to get her mom on so she can comment as well. We need Gloria to comment once in a while.
She was on our first show, and that was so fun. Definitely have to have Gloria come back on another time.
I had a long conversation. She butt dialed me this week.
I love it.
I don't know if it was a butt dial, but she dialed me by mistake. We had we chatted for well over a half hour.
Yeah, I owe her a phone call. I got to call her.
Yeah, she sounded good. Great. So that's it. I think we're good.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Let's saddle it up. Say hi to my dad. Hope he remembered to watch tonight.
Hey, Dad.
Fall asleep at the computer playing solitaire. Well, thank you guys. Thanks to Cyclosaurus Media Group again for all your support and letting us do this show. And we'll see you guys next week. I don't know who we're going to have on.
I got some clues, but I'll know better on Thursday.
We'll
I got some calls, so we'll
right
see.
On. Have a great week, everybody, and stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you later. See you, Mike.
See you, Chris. See you next week. Guys. All right. Have a great week. Bye, Chris and Heather.
See you.